Alright, what's up, everybody? Back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Yes, we are back. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, I promised it a little bit earlier in the week, we are talking about some college basketball and why this weekend is the most important weekend of college basketball. Alright, so we're going to talk about that before we get into it. Just want to say thanks to the views on the shorts and stuff recently. Really appreciate it. Got over some subscribers over to the main channel. And if you do like the content around here, please consider subscribing. Subscribe, like the video, turn on notifications, do all that stuff. I really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, as always, any more of your time, let's get right into it. So this entire week in college basketball has been conference tournament week, basically. So that means all the conferences in Division One in college basketball, they play their tournament. They play their tournament, seed all their teams based on how well they did in the conference, and they play. And this is important because the winner of each conference tournament automatically gets a bid into the NCAA tournament, the official NCAA tournament. So if you win your conference, you're automatically, boom, in. We've already had a lot of spots already clinched. A lot of these spots clinched are like kind of smaller teams are probably going to be 15, 16 seeds. Some smaller teams. But they're still going to be in the tournament, which is really good for them. But this weekend is the big conference tournaments. The conferences. The ACC, the Big East. Pac-12, SEC. All those conferences. This is those conferences tournament week, which are the big teams that really could, go on big runs, and the most notable teams. And all these conferences like the ACC, Big 12, Big East, all have teams that have like 3 or 4 teams that are really good and could make a run. Today, Friday, if you're seeing this as it's uploaded, we got the semifinal games in all those conferences. The ACC, you got Duke taking on Miami. You got Clemson and Virginia. Miami and Virginia are both ranked teams. Virginia's been very good all year. They've kind of fallen off, I feel like, a little bit near the end of the year. Miami's been good. Duke hasn't been ranked, but they're slowly climbing up. They're still Duke. They got Kyle Filipkowski. They got Tyrese Proctor. And they got a very solid team. But the big thing in the ACC yesterday was Boeheim retiring from Syracuse after losing in the first round of the tournament to Wake Forest. And Wake Forest eventually lost to Miami. They put up a really good fight. They only lost by 2. But yeah, and then Pittsburgh, a big disappointment. Pittsburgh, who's a 25 ranked, one of their best seasons in years. They got whooped by Duke. But yeah, the big thing was actually, like the big headline story, UNC, North Carolina, lost yesterday to Virginia in the ACC tournament. Ultimately, almost basically probably crushing their tournament hopes, which is very sad to see. Last year they made it all the way to the Final Four. They had a amazing run last season. Hubert Davis came in and really changed the program up. They went on a great run, and they basically kept that same exact team coming into this year. And they started the year preseason ranked number 1 team in the nation, and they slowly fallen. Couldn't be any other ranked teams, any good teams. They just really struggled all year. And the only way really to solidify themselves into the tournament was winning, or at least getting far into the ACC tournament. But then they ultimately lose to Virginia. Now their tournament hopes are basically over, it seems like, which really sucks because they really do have good teams. They got guys like Caleb Love, Armando Bacot, that I think with the tournament could have maybe got their draft stock up a little bit more. But yeah, they're probably going to be out of the tournament. Then NC State also lost, which is tough because NC State had a really good year, but they lost to Clemson by a lot. And then also today you got the Big 12 semifinal. You got Iowa State and Kansas. Kansas does not have their head coach, Bill Self, because he is sick. So he will not be a part of the Big 12 tournament. Their interim is stepping in. But they did beat West Virginia yesterday, and it was a tight game, but then at the end, Kansas kind of ran away with it. West Virginia was always kind of in the mix. But Kansas eventually won that game. They're playing against Iowa State, who beat Baylor yesterday in a big win. Baylor was the 7th-ranked team in the nation, and then they lost. Adam Flagler at 14, 3 for 11. Yeah, it was just a really tough game for Baylor. Iowa State played a really good game, and they won. That's a big win for them. They've been kind of in and out of the tournament rankings all season. And then you got Texas playing against TCU. Both those teams have been ranked a lot of the year, but also TCU beat Kansas State yesterday. Kansas State was a great team this season. They're like top 5 at one point, but they lose early in the Big 12 tournament. I don't know what that does to their tournament seeding, because they're probably still going to make it, but their tournament seeding kind of maybe falls a little bit. But yeah, I got Iowa State and Kansas, TCU, Texas. The Big East, you got Connecticut playing against Marquette. UConn beat Providence in a good game yesterday. The Marquette beat St. John's in overtime. Marquette's been very, very good this season as well. And then you got Creighton and Xavier. Creighton beat Villanova yesterday. Xavier beat DePaul. So those two are going on. The Big Ten, you got Purdue and Rutgers playing against each other. Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State, Northwestern. I think the Big Ten, this is the quarterfinal. I think the Big Ten championship isn't until Sunday, I'm pretty sure. So they have an extra day to kind of get that out. Then in the Pac-12, we also have the semifinal tonight. You got Oregon and UCLA. UCLA has been incredible this year. And then Arizona State, Arizona. Those are going to be some very good games as well. And then you got the SEC. You got Alabama taking on Mississippi State. You got Tennessee, Missouri, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt, Kentucky. That's the quarterfinal as well. I really want to see Alabama. I really want to see Kentucky as well. Kentucky kind of jumped into the rankings last minute, so I want to see how they can do. Also, Houston, who's the number 1 seed in the nation, they play their quarterfinal today. They play against East Carolina. They should probably get through that conference, no doubt. I mean, the only problem they really might have is Memphis, but besides that, I don't think they have any other problems. And then all the other ones are kind of the smaller conferences. There's no championship game today, but tomorrow is going to be the big championship games. March 11th, Saturday. You got a lot of championship games. Yeah, there's a lot of championship games tomorrow, March 11th. I have them all right here. First one, you got the American East championship game, which is between UMass Lowell and Vermont. MEAC tournament as well. And today's the quarterfinal. You got Maryland Eastern Shore against Howard, Norfolk State. Shout out Kyle Quinn. And NCCU. You got the SWAC, the SWAC championship game. Yeah, the SWAC. You got their quarterfinal today. You got Texas Southern, Alabama A&M, Jackson State, Grambling State. What else is in there? The Big 12, which is going to be the Kansas, Iowa State, TCU, Texas. Whoever wins those games, probably going to be Kansas. And I don't know, Texas TCU is tough. TCU plays hard. And they got Mike Miles over there. But yeah, maybe Kansas probably, but who knows? You got the Mountain West Championship as well between Utah State and Boise State. You got the Big East Championship, which is going to be the UConn, Marquette, Creighton, Xavier championship games. You got the MAC championship, which their semifinals today. They got either Ohio and Toledo or Akron and Kent State. The MAAC or the Metro Atlantic, which is you have Niagara, Iona, Marist, and St. Peter's. Probably Iona, probably gonna win that. Then they got Rick Pitino as their head coach. C championship game is tomorrow, which of course Duke, Miami, Clemson, Virginia. You got the Conference USA championship, which is going to be either Middle Tennessee, Florida Atlantic, UAB, North Texas. Probably be Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic has been amazing this season. They're ranked at one point. I think they were like 20-something and all. They've been really good. They're probably going to win that division. Well, they should win that conference at least. You got the Big West tournament or championship tomorrow, which their quarterfinals today, or their semifinals today. They got Cal State Fullerton, UC Irvine, UC Riverside, UC Santa Barbara. Pac-12 championship is tomorrow, which the semifinals today: Oregon, UCLA, Arizona State, Arizona. And then you got the WAC championship tomorrow, which their semifinals today. They got Grand Canyon, Sam Houston State, Southern Utah, Utah Valley. And then after that, there's only 5 more championship games. On Sunday, you got the Ivy League, the SEC, Atlantic 10, American Athletic Big 10 championship games. And then that night is Selection Sunday. But yeah, there's already been a lot of teams that have already clinched their spot. Already 14 of the 32 automatic bigs have been clinched already. The Ohio Valley, Big South, Missouri Valley, ASUN, Southern, Sun Belt, Northeast, Horizon League, CAA, West Coast, Summit League, Southland, Patriot League, and Big Sky tournaments have already ended. They ended earlier in the week. Aha Valley's played like last weekend, I think last Saturday, and then the last championship game was on Wednesday, March 8th. And so this weekend is the bigger conference tournaments, and then this weekend is the championship weekend for all the tournaments. So yeah, gonna be locked in on college basketball. I want to see all these. The games don't start for a little while, at least on my end as I'm recording this. It's it's morning right now. But yeah, very excited to see these. I'm very excited, honestly, to see the Big 12. You know, Kansas, TCU, Texas is going to be a good one. The Big East, Connecticut, and Marquette, that's going to be a big matchup. I feel like UConn and Marquette is going to be good. The ACC, even, like Miami and Duke, I want to see that game as well. Even some good ones in the SEC, Kentucky and Vanderbilt. Even the smaller ones, they're probably not going to be on TV as much. I'm probably not going to be able to watch them as much. But definitely going to keep an eye on those. You know, you have to. And then tomorrow is going to be the big day, the championship games, and we're really gonna be watching those. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I just wanna in this video talking about college and what this weekend is gonna be like, because I feel like it's gonna be an amazing weekend. And I'm also gonna make a video, I think on Monday, about each conference champion, each conference, their tournament winner, and those automatic bids into the NCAA tournament. I'm going to be making a video explaining all those teams, and I'm also going to be making a March Madness bracket video as well. So stay on the lookout for that if you like college basketball. Even if you just like basketball in general, just come over and watch. Even if you don't know anything about college, come over and just watch. I don't know that much either. Let's say I'm a casual when it comes to college basketball. I'm not this crazy college basketball head, but I mean, times like these, I really want to get into it a lot more. So I think this is a great way to start getting into it. But yeah, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you like the content around here, subscribe, like, turn on notifications, do all that stuff. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow.